I'm in a dream. I'm in a nightmare. I told you not to open that, but you did it, and here we are. You know what? I'm doing this different. I know I already changed the vocals, but still, I'm doing this different. I want to get the bat. Oh, my star. You know what? I'm done. I mean, you can't just do that. I mean, just because you are just... you know, you just can't do that. You know what? You want to end up like that guy over there. Really? You really want to end up like that guy, huh? You know what? I'll watch as you lead, but I can't believe how freaking mods are made of me. Now I don't know what to do, because I ran out of ideas, but I can throw you too. Aw, shucks. But I can't let you do this. I didn't do anything to you. I don't understand why you're doing this to me. Wait, what are you doing? No! Is it over? Just kidding! Girlfriend, help me. My wife. Actually, I'm alive. You know that you can't do this forever. You need to do something about your problem. You can't tell me what to do. You don't ruin my life, and I don't know what you want me to do. And I don't really care what you got to say, but now you will go away. Get the hell out of here. E, U, E, E, Gu, E, 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 E. Aw,